This tutorial is for how to make a circular mask in Photoshop. And there's a couple ways to do it. One, you can click on this highlight tool up here and go to ellipse tool, and that will turn that from a square into a circle. Now when you first do it, it's free forming right here, so I can make an ellipse tool, or I can, if I hold shift down, it'll be a perfect circle. And sometimes you need that. If you're always using a perfect circle, you can just change the tool itself up to fixed ratio, and you can do 1 to 1. You can do 2 to 1. 2 to 1 is going to get you this shape every time, but most people need 1 to 1. Get up that perfect circle, and then you kind of highlight it where you need it, and then include this like that. Now. What you can do from here, if you just push delete, what's going to happen? Oops, let me. Control Z. That's not what we wanted to happen. Hit delete. Usually that's preset for the background. I was doing something different. That's why that changed it. So most people's Photoshop will be the background color, which is white in this case, and it'll just delete that. But if you don't want to do that, and you obviously want the background, the outside deleted, we need to go to select and then inverse. And then when I delete that, the background is deleted off the photo. And that's often where you need, and you can push Control R for ruler and see how big that ends up being. Another thing that you can do is actually create, if you're doing a lot of these, you can create another layer in here. So I'm clicking the little thing that looks like a page and made a second layer here. And now I'm not working on the photo, I'm working on the layer underneath it. And sometimes I can click on that, and I can put a layer underneath as well. Wait a minute, that's not what. Let me delete that layer. Okay, so I've got that extra layer at the top. And I can go to that layer, highlight that layer, and then hit my ellipse tool, and I can make a a circle like this, and also select inverse. And this time I'm going to take the paint tool and paint it white on the outside, or you can paint it black, I guess. And now I have I can Control D gets rid of the dancing ants. And now I can click on this, and let me put that up there. Control A, copy, and V. All right. So what I've done here now, I have 3 layers going. I have the background layer, I have the photo layer, and I have the masking layer. And let me just put a color there on the background layer so you can see it. And what we have here is, if I delete the photo layer, you can have like a template. So if you're doing lots of these, you can take your photo, and then you can bring in your photo. And what's nice about this is you can do this move tool, and you can move it around and get it adjusted just right, and when you print, it's going to print the exact same way every time. So I'd set this up to the right size, put that masking tool in, create, the photo's still there, it's just being hidden. And when you print it, it'll print that white, and you won't see that. So that's several ways to do it. You can also go to this tool down here and do a mask on it. And basically what a mask is, if I go to the mask section, now I've changed this. I'm no longer working this as a photo. I'm working the mask because I hit that bottom thing of my toolbar right there. And if I click on this and once again hit the inverse, I can paint this, and it turns red, and basically all it says is that's the mask. Then when I get out of there, that's highlighted. It's kind of a shortcut to highlight. Now the advantage is you can paint with this. You can paint little sections. You can I don't know, move it. It can burn a little bit in there. You can smudge it here. You can smudge the edges if you wanted to. And what's kind of cool is when you go back, that's been highlighted and that's changed. So if it's not a perfect shape, you can mess with that highlight tool. But I would think that most of the time you just want a mask like that. That's the easiest, quickest way to do a round object and taking photos and cropping them in a round way.